get started soon about.
Okay, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna share my screen. Awesome. Okay, let's kick off. So thank you guys so much for coming here today to our virtual AI workshop, as well as our mini hackathon that we'll have. We're so excited for you to learn all about AI. We're gonna break down from the beginning what AI is, what it's used for, AI in your daily lives. We're gonna talk about AI ethics, pros and cons, and hear from our two wonderful guest speakers that we have here today, Arushi Sharma and Khalil Malik. So quickly, just a brief schedule that we're going to have today. From 11 to 12 is our AI lesson plus our guest speakers. And then we're going to be putting you into breakout rooms with your own designated mentor. And you'll have an AI prompting session in which you'll learn how you can create your own AI app. And then you'll also create your slides in those breakout rooms. And then from 12:45 to about 1:30, we're going to have our pitch competition where you'll be presenting to our panel of Code with Impact mentors that you see here with the backgrounds. And then lastly, we'll have an award ceremony. So let's get into the awards.
So we have some amazing competition prizes. So for first place, we have a $50 gift card. Second place gets a $30 gift card, and third place gets a $20 gift card. And in addition to the gift cards, winners will also be featured on the Code with Impact website and Instagram. Now let's get into what AI is.
All right, so how many of you guys have used AI before? That's going to be your ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. Okay, yes, a lot of us. So what is AI or artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is the creation of data-driven models that are made to mimic the intelligence of the human mind. So, like our brain has neurons, whenever you create artificial intelligence models or large language models, they're going to have a neural network inside them. They're called CNNs, convolutional neural networks. And with them, that's how the AI learns to think. And you almost feel like you're talking to a human would because they can think and respond to you. So, what is the difference between our traditional programming that we've known for the longest time, which is what you think of coding in a language like Python, Java, CSS, HTML, versus AI models? So, traditional programming would be you give a recipe to your system, so that's going to be your input, and it's going to follow that recipe exactly to give you your output. So, to create this hamburger over here, I would tell the AI or I would tell the system, hey, add in ham, add in lettuce, add in tomatoes, put it over two breads, and it would do exactly what it's told. Now, AI systems, on the other hand, they don't ever get a recipe, but instead they're trained on thousands and thousands of different ingredients, and they learn what food ingredients in this analogy would go together. So, as you can see, we have chips and salsa, we have eggs and bacon, we have a burger and Coca-Cola. So, your AI learns and it's trained on thousands of data points, millions of data points, what words go together, what systems go together, what things go together. And in this way, it develops intuition like a chef would, and it can think, what do I need to do to create a recipe based off patterns it's observed before? So this is when you ask it to write an English essay or write an email. It can take the patterns that it's seen before in previous text and give you an email. So if I was to be like, okay, I want to make ramen, I would tell my AI model, hey, can you make me ramen? Or give me the instructions, and it doesn't ever get that in its system, but because it's trained on the data, it can give you your entire dish. So why do we use AI? Because in traditional programming, if something was to have a mistake, like you wouldn't have all the ingredients, or if you were using, for example, if you were baking a cake and it said bake it to 350 degrees, but you were using a different oven, your system could fail because the exact input would not be matched to the exact output. But because in the AI model, it can learn how to adapt and be flexible because it's trained on so many data points, it allows us to do so much more with our technologies. And now we're going to go into some common AI algorithms that you guys can use.
Okay, so when it comes to AI algorithms, we have one main algorithm that is used by so many different programs in your life, which is called classification. So as you can imagine, classification is just separating things into two different categories or classes. So in this example, we have training images of cats and dogs that are inside the circles. These circles are our categories. So when you input these categories into the AI model, the AI knows, okay, this is what a cat looks like and this is what a dog looks like. And if you notice, all the different images are different types of cats and different types of dogs. This diversity of data points makes AI more accurate and more able to adapt. So now when we have an input of an image of a cat, we can feed it into the AI algorithm and it will tell us that it is a cat. And same thing with a dog. Now, this is a very basic example, but there are a bunch of other different algorithms that use the same principle at a higher level. So first we have KNN. If you remember from your math class, or maybe you've learned it from somewhere else, KNNs are basically huge graphs. So just like you have scatter plots in math, a KNN is a huge scatter plot. You have your data point, and then you have a bunch of different data points. Now, let's say there are some data points that are red and data points that are green, and your algorithm has to figure out whether your data point is green or red. If you take the closest data points to your data point and the majority are green, then most likely your data point is also going to be green. And this is when parameters come into really important play because if you only take one data point, then that's not super accurate. It's just going to be a bias or like a coin flip. But if you take too many, then you're not really looking at the local patterns of the data. Next, we have decision trees and random forest. So a decision tree is basically a series of yes or no questions. So you have a bunch of branches that are the questions that go into a single leaf or a node. And so you can ask questions like, does this animal have a tail? Does this animal have fur? Does this animal have pointed ears? And the AI will, if if the answer is yes, then the AI will go into one direction. If the answer is no, the AI will pivot in another direction. But the thing is with decision trees is that they're very random. They form in slightly different ways every time, even with the same data and the same inputs. So that's why usually it's better to use a random forest, which is a collection of decision trees in which you take the majority output of whatever your decision tree is saying. So this makes it more accurate and because of the diversity of data points and the diversity of answers that you're getting. And now we're going to go into how AI talks to us and tokenization.
Okay, so we're going to talk about how AI actually communicates with us through something called tokenization. And this is one of the most interesting parts of AI because it can talk to us so naturally and human-like at times. So essentially how tokenization works is that the AI will break down sentences into small chunks called tokens. So if you look at this example, I love coding, exclamation mark. Each one of these words and even the punctuation is a token. So I is a token, love is a token, coding, and the exclamation mark. So the interesting part is how does the AI decide what word comes next? It actually assigns a score to each possible token it could follow. So if the AI just processed the word I, it'll then go through the words with a score. So for example, the word love might get a score of 0.3, while the word meant might get a score of 0.2, and the word ate might get a score of 0.5, and so on for thousands of words. Then it picks the highest rating score. And so, an example of how we can parallel this to something outside technology is if you think of a meteorologist predicting the weather, it might say we have a 10% chance of rain, a 30% chance of snowstorms, and it's not doing this randomly, but it's basing it off of patterns that it's seen. So, they're not randomly guessing, they're scoring the outcomes just like an AI model would. And so, just like the meteorologist is doing this through their training process, the AI has a training process where it sees so many sentences, it learns that the word after I is most likely love and not banana. So, it picks the next token and then the token after that, and again until it's built your response and the proper outcome. And so, that's how you talk to every chat box you've ever spoken to. It's not just random, there's an actual process going behind it. And so next, I want to talk about AI in daily life. So AI isn't something just of the future or something mystical. It's actually something you see every day and you might not realize. So looking at these examples, self-driving cars, cars like Teslas are using AI to recognize pedestrians, read traffic signs, and make decisions every day on the road. So it's following a rule book that it's learned from millions of driving data. Smart technology, every time you open your phone, it automatically blurs the background to portrait mode or adjusts the lighting. If you're in for like harsh fluorescent lighting, it'll change it to a different ISO. Um, yeah, it recognizes your face. And so then thermostats like Nest actually learn your schedule over time, the longer you use it and the smarter it gets. And it can change according to the weather and be environmentally friendly. And then something I know a lot of you guys are familiar with is social media algorithms. So every scroll on TikTok that you're making, that's specifically curated for you. It knows what you like, what you share, and what you're most likely to interact with. And the AI adapts to that so that you interact with their app more, so it benefits them, and also you get more interesting videos. And so a very similar story with predictive shopping. AI is analyzing your history and recommending things you didn't even know you wanted. So when it says customers also bought, that's not a random section. It's a model built on data. So AI isn't just something in the future, it's something you're interacting with every day. But that's why we're going to move on to pros and cons so you know the real story behind it.
All right, guys, so with the sudden growth of AI, we do have to be mindful of both the pros and cons of AI. So a lot of experts say that there are four main pros of AI, which is faster productivity, better efficiency, cost effectiveness, and 24/7 availability. But we also want you guys to be a little cautious of the cons. So a main con that people love to bring up is bias and errors. And a great example of this con is actually about a company named Amazon that I'm sure everyone here has heard of. Well, Amazon a few years ago had a hiring AI that showed some bias. It was preferring to hire male applicants over female applicants because it was taking data from previous years in which there were a larger majority of male applicants and they were more likely to be chosen. So what does this tell us? This tells us that we need to have a variety of data points to avoid bias in our AI. Job displacement is another con that people like to bring up regarding AI, and it's true, AI can take jobs even in creative fields such as artists and writers, but AI can also grow with us and create new jobs in tech development. Of course, there are privacy concerns as well. We do not want AI to be using our sensitive information, such as passwords and location, and being trained on that. That could be sort of a scary thing to think about, but it's okay. We will use AI in a mindful way, being mindful of environmental impacts as well. And we only want to use AI to enhance our own skills, and we don't want to be over dependent on it. And next, let's talk about the ethics of AI.
All right, so like Shyla mentioned, your AI has lots of pros, but it also has cons, which is really important when we're designing AIs or we're using AIs, that we're evaluating how ethically is it giving you responses. So there's three things that you want to make sure that your AI systems have. The first, you want them to be fair and unbiased. The second is you want them to protect your user data and user privacy. And the third, you want to include a human in the loop approach, or HITL, and we'll go into this a little bit deeper too, but it just means including a human that's verifying the AI. So I'm going to talk more about the fair and unbiased systems. When you're creating your AI, you want to train it on a diverse set of data points. So a really interesting example is back when Barack Obama was our president, we had an AI give a little prompt. So it was find who is more nationalistic or who is more loyal, patriotic to America, to the United States. So it gave the researchers that were doing this, gave the AI two images, one of our president, Barack Obama, and the second of the British Prime Minister, David Cameron at that time. And so the AI was trained on thousands of images of our previous presidents, of people in Congress, and usually those people were white men. So it ended up picking the British Prime Minister as being more nationalistic than our own president, which just goes to show when you're designing your AI, in order for it to give the most accurate response that it can, it's important that we are using diverse systems and ensure that our AI is unbiased.
And I like just to add on to what Kashika said, I also have a similar real life anecdote. In 2020, a man named Robert Julian Borchak Williams was arrested in his home in Detroit. And this actually happened because the police had used a facial recognition AI to identify him as a suspect in a robbery. But the issue is, this AI was faulty. It had been trained to significantly higher error rates on darker skinned faces compared to lighter skinned faces. And so, because the data was trained on this, it didn't represent everyone equally. So, he spent 30 hours in jail for something that he didn't commit. And this is why I always find it so important that not only are we training our AI to be unbiased, but to do this by having diversity in our fields, in our companies. It's important that if there was maybe more Black people working on this product, they would have picked up on this bias earlier. So it's important we have all sorts of demographics working so they can share ideas and prevent biases in their systems.
Since AI systems use and transfer our data, it's really important that AI protects our user data and privacy, because back in November, OpenAI had a data breach where email addresses, location, and full names of people users on Sora and ChatGPT were leaked. Since we don't want unauthorized people accessing our information, it's important that these AI protects user and data privacy.
And next, we wanted to talk a little bit about human-in-the-loop approach. I know this might be a new concept for most of you guys, but human-in-the-loop approach is essentially the idea that while an AI can suggest possible outcomes, a human in the end should be the one to approve that or take that further. So for example, let's say we have an AI in the medical field, and this AI's job is to provide a possible diagnosis for a sick patient. Well, the AI will take data, what that patient is dealing with, what kinds of problems they're facing, and provide possible illnesses that this patient could have. But it is the human doctor's job to finally take those ideas, verify them, and then take it a step further by providing them treatment. So while AI can be used to help us, humans in the end should be the ones making the decisions. And then at the bottom here, we actually have a question for you guys. AI can now create fake images and videos that look very realistic. And so what do you guys think could be the consequences of this? Raise your hand and we'll call on some of you for answers. Yes, I see some hands. Mihit Deswani, you can unmute and give your answer.
You can make fake evidence against somebody in like a case.
Yeah, that's actually a great answer. Law has been a concern in this issue a lot. Kashika, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, no, that was a great answer. Another example that is really common, and you guys might have seen videos of this on social media or on YouTube, is people also creating fake videos that they're sending, like scammers create fake videos of family members that they send to others. So there's a video that I saw where this teenage girl, she was stuck on the road and she called her mom. She's like, "Oh, hey mom, my tire broke. Can you transfer me $1,000 to fix this?" And it was so realistic. Her voice sounded the same. She looked the same. And her mom transferred $1,000 to a bunch of scammers. So that's another thing that we have to make sure we're being cautious of as we're using AI, and it's becoming so incorporated into our daily lives. All right, do we have any other person that wants to share? We have time for one more response. Yes, Rishabh, Banath, Rajan?
There was like a teacher who got an AI video recorded of her, and it was like of her doing something bad, and she got fired.
Definitely. There's so many things that AI now has the potential to do, which is why it's even more important that we're using it in ethical ways. Alrighty. So now we have moved on to a very exciting part of our workshop. We're going to hear from
Hi guys, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm so excited to be here. So my name is Arishi. I grew up in Austin, Texas. I went to James Bowie High School. I don't know if anyone's heard of that, but that's where I went to high school. And then I'm graduating from UT next month and with a computer science degree and a mathematics degree. I'll just talk a little bit about my experience within computer science and some of the stuff I've been involved in. And then honestly, just to open up the floor, if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to talk about anything. So yeah, I started coding like my freshman year of high school. Just took some basic CS classes, and then I worked for like the city of Austin information technology systems as like an internship, and just got to like learn from the information technology side, work with other people, work on a pretty basic project for the city of Austin. And then sophomore year, that was when COVID happened. So I was one of those like people that did COVID in high school, and so my sophomore year and all of my junior year was all through like COVID. So I will say like I did learn everything online with like that time of life was like really interesting. Like my AP exams were like all online and like it was just really a really different time. And then my senior year, I got to go back in person for school and I was trying to figure out like, okay, do I want to do CS? Where do I want to go to school? What do I want to do? And I'd always really enjoyed coding. I think that I really liked the problem solving aspect of it. A lot of like the when we were like in classes, like they gave you kind of a prompt and you kind of got to go that process of like designing it and figuring out how you want to solve it and then actually going and implementing it. And then like I guess seeing the implementation from like that design phase and starting from the problem to solving it, I really enjoyed that. So that was something that I was like, okay, this is something I want to major in. And I actually also ended up building an app in high school, which I'd be happy to talk more about if anyone's curious. So I ended up building an app, and the app actually got published on the App Store. And so that was definitely something I was like, okay, this is like, I got to see like how technology could be something that I took and actually created a solution and like publish something out of it. And so that was also another really big moment of like, this is something that I wanted to do. And so yeah, I started at UT in fall of 2022. So it's been 4 years, which has been crazy. And throughout college, it's been a really interesting, fun, very big learning experience. Definitely done a lot of internships. So my freshman year, I worked at Morgan Stanley, which is a bank, and I was on like their software engineering side. My sophomore year, I worked at Capital One, which is another bank. And then my junior year, I worked at Amazon. So that was this past summer. And then I also have been working at AMD during like, well, with school this year. And after graduation, I'm moving to Seattle, Washington, which is the headquarters of Amazon, and I will be working there. So I'm super excited. Definitely through this experience, I think I had a lot of really cool internships at obviously banks, big tech companies, and also a lot of startup companies, which I didn't mention in this span, but I worked at a few startups over the last 4 years. And I think it's just been a really cool experience to see kind of like CS in classes versus like being able to do it in like the real world and being able to work on different projects. And so that entire internship experience has been really awesome. Like I said, if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I know we'll have like a little Q&A moment. And then aside from like internships, I've taken a lot of really cool classes at UT. So with a computer science, you can choose like a concentration. So one of my concentrations that I chose was to do the artificial intelligence concentration. So basically just taking a lot of different classes. And just for reference, ChatGPT came out like my sophomore year. So honestly, like it's been like I kind of did college, like a little bit of college before ChatGPT, before all these like AI tools were like commonly used. I think it's been really interesting to see like how classes have been transformed with like the use of like AI agents and like chatbots. A lot of the classes that I do take, they do allow us to use like AI tools to like help assist our learning, which has been really cool. And aside from that, I've also been taking classes within like artificial intelligence, machine learning one, machine learning two. Right now I'm in like computer vision. So we're kind of exploring the different algorithms that are like libraries within Python that kind of explore like the like working with like photos and like stitching them together. So that's been a really cool experience as well. And aside from that, I'm in a lot of different like they call them orgs at UT, but like clubs on campus. So one of the clubs I'm a part of is called like CS Roadshow. So we go to a lot of like elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools around the Austin area. And we teach them about different topics in CS. We work with robots. I also I'm like a teaching assistant for a class, two classes where I just like help teach the class with the professor. And yeah, so that's just a little bit about like kind of my experience within not only what I do at UT, some of the classes I've been taking, some of the internships I've been doing doing and then where I'm going after graduation. I don't really know how we want to do the QA. If anyone like has any questions, they want to raise their hand, I can call on them. But yeah, I'd be happy to talk about anything CS related, non-CS related, if anyone has any questions, if like college advice, if anyone has anything like that. So yeah.
And if you guys know how to raise your hand on Zoom, you go to your React button and then you can raise your hand through that. Okay, I see one person raised their hand. Arishi, if you just want to take that.
Yeah. If you want to unmute or type in the chat,
What
anything
was the app
works.
that you made called?
I made Service Spotter. So essentially, Austin has a pretty big homeless population, and essentially like I've been working like volunteering there since I was like pretty little. My family used to take me to like the homeless shelters and like the free breakfast that they would provide, and we would like serve like breakfast to them. And one thing about Austin is they have a lot of free resources for these homeless individuals, so free shelters, free healthcare, free breakfast, but there wasn't really a centralized place of like where you could find all that information. There was like websites online, but a lot of them were like outdated with like the wrong addresses, wrong websites, wrong phone numbers. So I essentially created an app so someone who wanted to use those resources but didn't know where to find them could search and find the resources that were closest to them that matched like what they wanted, and like we're able to like map to that specific location, see the like proper information, most up-to-date information for that, and find that. So once I basically built that app using Xcode. I don't know if anyone has heard of it. It's basically Apple's like software for making apps for iOS, which is like the Apple software. It's a pretty basic, I will say it does take a lot to learn, like, but there's a lot of like YouTube videos, PDFs. Apple has like this like online class that you can like go through with like a PDF that I like went through and then just honestly taught myself using YouTube videos. And it took me about 3 months to make the app, and then I was able to publish it on the App Store. So that's like a whole process where you have to like get approved and do all the right things. And then I actually got to go back to like the places I volunteered at and pitch the app to them, have them use it, and then was able to get like over 200 users throughout the span of like a few months. And that was really awesome. And then obviously going into college, it's hard to maintain an app and also deal with all the so many other things that college has. So I was able to work with the city of Austin to get the app transferred over to them, and they kind of work and maintain and have modified it to their own like what their systems and all that. So they've been able to do that. But that was a little about the app experience. Super cool. I think app development is a really awesome way to just kind of like build something that you're interested in. I always say that like if you feel like there's like a problem, even if it's something like small or minuscule in like your own life, like oh like I hate like Google Calendar, I hate Notion Calendar, I hate the way that these organization apps are, like and you enjoy coding, like see if you can build your own app, your own calendar where like you can incorporate all the things that you're interested in and that you want to see in an app, and you can have it for yourself and publish it on the App Store. Because like if you don't like something about an app, the chances are there's also other people that don't like something about the app. And if you're able to create something new, it's really fun. And so yeah, I would definitely say like app development's really cool. And UT has a lot of different classes as well for like app development. That's like one of the concentrations that you can do. So you can do like Android app development, Apple app development. You can do like an overview of all of that as well. So yeah. Does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, if you guys have anything to ask, you can also put it in the chat, however you guys want to do it.
I have a question. Um, I heard about your internships and I was wondering if any of them were in high school and what you did to get those.
Yeah, so I didn't do any internships in high school. I will say that like my like high school experience is a little bit different just because it was through COVID. So a lot of the stuff was like online and like a lot of the companies weren't really like hiring, or I like it wasn't like a formal process. I would say like the city of Austin one was in high school. That was like my ninth grade summer, like going into 10th grade. So but it was like that program is specifically for high school students. I think you can just apply and then say you want to do something in more of a tech facing like side of things. I think it's just like the City of Austin high school internship program that I went through. And then I didn't do any other internships like sophomore summer, junior summer, senior summer, just because like it was like COVID times. And then the summer right before going into like my freshman year of college, I just interned at like a startup company in Austin. They were making technology. It was like a iOS app that they made for essentially like security metal bars, and they were a pretty small company, but they were pitching to a lot of like bigger companies so people could buy their product. So I was working on basically doing different like small fixes on their iOS app, and then also just like sitting in on like pitch meetings and learning how to present about products. And it was a super cool like unpaid internship, and I would go in person like twice a week and just get to learn from them. But that was pretty much the extent of like my internship experience in high school. I think that there are companies that do like high school internships. I think Citibank has like a high school internship program, and then I also think Bank of America has one as well. And then I also say like startup companies, like I think that a lot of them kind of just are looking for people to help them out, and so obviously you do need to have the proper skill set to help them. So like it is kind of hard to find someone that is willing to hire someone in high school unless you have like the right skills that they're looking for. But it never hurts to just like send them an email and say, this is kind of what like I'm interested in. This is what I have like done so far. So like when I did my internship at that startup company, the senior or like my freshman before my freshman year of college, I literally just emailed them and I've been like, I have made an app, I put it on the app store, I have a bunch of iOS like Swift experience, and that's kind of how they were like interested in me because of that. And I feel like getting that experience, like I didn't really care too much about it being like paid or unpaid. I just kind of wanted to learn. And so it's also good like resume experience as well. So I think definitely just like emailing and like kind of like telling them those things about you and what you're interested in, I think that could always help. But yeah, that was the extent of like my high school internship experience.
Yeah, so speaking of like your experience, because you mentioned that your concentration was like AI in college. So were any of your internships, like whether like in high school or in college, were any of them like AI based? Or like did you get to work on any like AI systems?
Yeah, so my first two internships weren't AI based. So my internship at Morgan Stanley and Capital One were just kind of like full stack, like internship experiences. My internship at Amazon actually, and the team that I'm returning to is one of their AI teams. So essentially, I'm on it's like a mix of Amazon and AWS's like financial services. So like if you are like having an issue with like your payment plan or you need some sort of like financial like help, essentially there's like that whole process of like requesting a ticket, and a lot of those tickets that people request for kind of come into like the same similar categories. And so what they wanted to do was like kind of figure out how to use AI to group those like tickets into similar requests, and then have like an agent go in and just respond back to the tickets rather than having like a human being responding back. And so my summer that I worked there last summer, I was working on the system to essentially build out that pipeline of like trend, like when there is a ticket that comes in, what is the intent of that ticket? Is that person looking for a fee refund? Is that person looking for like a credit card failure? Like those different intents, and then using AI to like classify that. And then once it's classified, what are the next steps that like the AI agent has to do? Like how do they respond back to that ticket? So that entire process, I was using like the different like AI models within Amazon systems. And then also, when I go back in July to Amazon, I'm working on one of their AI chatbots that is used for like kind of that financial side within Amazon. So that internship was more AI experience. I will say, like, I think what I learned in class kind of set up like the fundamentals of what the concepts were, but a lot of what I did with like AI systems, I learned like on the job, because like Amazon has their own internal like system of like this is how they like the models that they use, this is like the process that they have. So like the fundamentals I learned in school, and then I like learned most of like how to use it like on the job. And then my internship at AMD essentially is working for like the business side of tech, so like the IT business side. So essentially within every company, there's legal, there's healthcare, there's environmental health and safety, and those different sectors within AMD, that's kind of like the side that I work on, but on the software engineering. So one of the main things that it would be crazy if you saw all the different things that they do within those side of things. But one of the things, for example, is like if you're an employee and let's say you were moving from Austin to San Jose, you have to submit a ticket to be like, hey, I'm moving from a different location to another location. My location currently as an employee says I'm in Austin, but I want to move to, or I'm moving to like San Jose, California. So you submit a ticket, and then a person goes in, a space, if they're called space planners at AMD, and they're going and they're taking your ticket request and submitting a new ticket for you to move you from one location to another. And so a lot of what I've been doing over the last like two like semesters that I've been working there, I've been basically figuring out how to use AI to like automate that process because essentially that aspect of like opening up the ticket, reading it, getting the employee's information, and then figuring out where they're moving from one location to another and opening up that ticket for them is a pretty manual task, right? Like there's a list of steps that you can follow. So rather than having like a person go and do it, you can train a model or train some sort of like AI like agent to do it for you. So I built out that system for them. So now there's someone, rather than having someone go in the email every single time they're emailed to say like, okay, I have to open up this ticket, we can easily use the automation that I created for like the AMD like HR team that just runs every single day and just automatically processes the tickets and opens up the new like move request is what they're called for the employee. And so I've been working on a lot of different products like that for the company within their like HR space and their like environmental health and safety space or their like global real estate, which is essentially just talking about like buildings and like moving and employees. And so that's what I've been kind of working with like AI like in my like internship experience and then where I'm kind of like working like post grad as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Arushi. If you guys have any other questions, you can put them in the chat. But we're gonna get started with our next guest speaker. So thank you so much, Arushi. I know you might have to leave, but that was so wonderful. And I know that we all gained so much insight. Even I gained some insight. So that was just really great. So now we're gonna move on to our next guest speaker, Khalil Malik. And can you guys see the screen again? Is it good? Okay, perfect. So Khalil Malik has been working at in tech for over 20. Wait, am I muted?
No, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, yep,
He's
yep.
been working in tech for over 25 plus years, as well as has helped build over 20 plus major AI products. So he's working in Microsoft's health and life sciences with using AI in healthcare departments right now. And this is so perfect because do you guys know what the hackathon theme is? It's healthcare. So he's gonna give you so many different pieces of advice that you could probably get from inspiration from his work that you can then use in your app that you'll create a little bit later. So Khalil Malik, I'm just gonna give the stage to him, but he's been working on the Microsoft Azure AI platform and he helps use AI in healthcare services. So if you guys have ever seen technologies, really cool technologies being used when you go to the doctor, this is an example of how they're built. So I'm just gonna give the spotlight on you and then we'll keep the screens shared. Let me know when you want me to move to the
Right.
next slide.
All right, will do. Thank you, Kashika. Very nice. I was very impressed with all of the presentations today. It's nice seeing how you're learning about AI and sharing it with other peers and colleagues. So great work there. I first want to give a huge thanks to Asian Women Advancing AI and Code and I'm sorry, Asian Women Advancing AI and Code with Impact for having me. My name is Khalil Malik, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. I am a partner and general manager at Microsoft. In the tech world, partner is essentially a senior leadership title. It means I run a team and I'm accountable for what that team builds. My team is called Microsoft Frontiers AI and Core Technologies, and we sit inside of Microsoft's Health and Life Sciences division. What does that actually mean? My team is made up of software engineers, engineering managers, product managers, and AI researchers, and together we build the AI infrastructure and cutting edge models that power Microsoft's most important healthcare products. We do research, we build things that ship to hospitals and clinics all over the world, and the work we do has real impact on real patients. I have been in technology for more than 25 years. I've spent 15 years at FedEx building mission critical enterprise systems. Then I spent 6 years at Amazon Web Services leading AI initiatives. And now I've been at Microsoft for 5 years doing what I believe is the most meaningful work of my career, using AI to help improve healthcare. I want to spend the next few minutes taking you behind the scenes of some of the most exciting AI work right now. So let's go. Let me start with a question. How many of you have been to the doctor? A pediatrician, a family doctor? Anyone? I'm guessing that's most of you. Now think about your last appointment. Picture the room. The doctor walks in, and what are they doing? They're probably staring at a screen. They're typing, and you're sitting there thinking, is this person even listening to me? Here's something most people don't realize. For every single hour a doctor spends with a patient, they spend more than 2 hours on administrative work, paperwork, typing, notes, filing records. 2 hours of documentation for every 1 hour of actually helping people, for every visit, every day, for an entire career. Every time a doctor sees a patient, they're required to write what's called a SOAP note, which stands for Subjective, Objective, Assessment, and Plan. It's a structured clinical note that captures what the patient described, what the doctor observed, the diagnosis, and the treatment plan. This goes into your electronic health record, your permanent digital file. Writing these for every patient every day is exhausting. And so, what is the result of that? It's burnout. Research shows that nearly 60% of primary care physicians report burning out from their jobs. Almost 90% of radiologists, the specialists who read your x rays and MRI scans, experience burnout. 65% of nurses report high levels of stress. These are talented, compassionate people who went into medicine because they wanted to help people, and the paperwork is crushing them. When doctors burn out, they leave medicine. And when they leave medicine, patients lose access to care. It's a crisis, and it's one that AI can help solve. One of the flagship products my team helped build is called Microsoft Dragon Copilot. And here's how the AI behind it actually works. Because I think this is one of the coolest things that we do. When a doctor walks into an exam room, Dragon Copilot starts listening. It uses an advanced AI model called an automatic speech recognition model, or ASR model, that my team developed and trained specifically for medical conversations. This isn't your regular speech to text. It understands medical terminology and it handles multiple speakers. It works in multiple languages and it produces what's called a diarized transcript, meaning it knows exactly who said what, the doctor said this, the patient said that, and that transcript is passed to a large language model, the same kind of generative AI model behind tools like ChatGPT, which reads the entire conversation and automatically generates the SOAP note. The doctor reviews it, makes an edit, and with a couple of clicks, it's filed in the patient's medical record. The doctor never has to type a single word. That time goes back to the patient. Here's how one doctor described it after using Dragon Copilot. Quote, patients are noticing their clinicians are looking at them again, making eye contact. We've had several patients remark, wow, you're not typing today. That's the power of AI, and it gives eye contact back to the medicine the way it was supposed to be practiced, end quote. That's what my team builds, and that's what I get up to go to work for every single day. Now, Dragon Copilot is much bigger than just note taking. We built it as an open platform, meaning other healthcare software companies can build their own capabilities on top of it and offer them to physicians already using Dragon Copilot. I want to show you a short video featuring one of our partners. It's a company called Regard. You will see how their existing Dragon Copilot platform with how they extended our platform with their own capabilities while also reaching out to large physician base that is already using Dragon Copilot through the Microsoft Dragon Copilot Marketplace. And you can think of this marketplace similar to an app store, but for AI. So let's take a look at the video. I'm not hearing the audio. Is there?
Can you guys hear it?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Is there a setting we have to do?
Let's see. Oh, yes, share sound. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. Let's see. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play it. Let me know if you can hear it now.
Okay.
Need is in the chart. On a typical visit, I'm only able to review.
Yeah,
Can you hear it? Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
maybe you can rewind it, yeah, and then we
Yes,
can.
of course.
Yeah, okay.
So I've been an ICU doctor for 25 years. When a really sick patient comes in, I know that almost everything I need is in the chart. On a typical visit, I'm only able to review 3% of it. There are tens of thousands of data points in each patient's medical record. So we developed Regard, an AI platform that reads 100% of the medical record to make sure that nothing gets missed.
By teaming up with Microsoft Dragon Copilot, they are able to record an entire conversation that's happening between a patient and physician, couple that with all the insights from the EHR data we're surfacing. Then it can actually come up with net new diagnoses that have been otherwise overlooked.
Microsoft Dragon Copilot is deeply integrated into a physician's workflow, which is incredibly powerful. Because this is healthcare, vetting a new vendor is a long and complex process.
Microsoft Marketplace, it's an opportunity to accelerate our path to go to market. They are a trusted leader, they have HIPAA compliance, and they're SOC 2 compliant. We're able to much more quickly integrate with customers, shortening the sales cycle down by several months. As an extension inside of Dragon Copilot, a health system can access the Regard with the flip of a switch that really helps Regard scale.
Regard makes me a better doctor. We now make sure that we have the most accurate documentation, the most accurate diagnoses, and all the supporting evidence that the provider needs to provide the best care for that patient.
It improves their quality scores and means health systems get credit for how well they deliver care. And when you're doing that through Microsoft's Marketplace, you can do that faster.
All right. Beyond the products we ship to the market, my team also does frontier research. I'm talking about AI models that are pushing the boundaries of what medicine can do. Let me quickly introduce you to three that my team has helped develop. The first model is called MedImage Insight. Think about what it takes to read a medical image, an X-ray, an MRI, a pathology slide from a biopsy. It takes years of specialized training, and there aren't enough specialists to meet the demand. Medical imaging data is growing 6% every year, but the number of trained radiologists and pathologists is barely keeping up. MedInsight is an open source AI foundation model developed by my team that can look at medical images across 14 different imaging types, chest X-rays, CT scans, MR scans, eye scans, ultrasounds, and more. In a rigorous evaluation, it matches or exceeds human expert performance on several tasks. It can even search a library of millions of prior images to find the closest matches, giving doctors evidence-based decision support. And we made it free for the entire global research community. The next model is called UniRG, or Universal Report Generation. When a radiologist finishes analyzing a scan, they have to write a detailed report explaining every finding. UniRG is an AI model that does this automatically. and it does it better than any previous model. What makes UniRG special is how it was trained. Instead of just learning to copy the styles of previous reports, UniRG uses reinforcement learning, a technique where the AI improves itself based on clinical feedback, not just text similarity. It's trained on over 56,000 radiology studies from more than 80 hospitals. It's currently holds the #1 spot on the global public leaderboard for chest X-ray report generation, and it performs consistently well across age, gender, race, and institutions it has never seen before. And the last model I wanted to tell you about is a model that we call GigaTime. This is one of my personal favorites, and you're about to see it in action. When someone has cancer, doctors need to understand not just the tumor itself, but the environment around it, how the immune system is responding to it. Is it fighting the tumor or ignoring it? If the immune system is engaged, immunotherapy might work. If not, doctors need a different strategy. There is a test that reveals all of this, and it's called multiplex immunofluorescence, and it costs thousands of dollars per sample. Most labs can barely run it on a small fraction of their cases. GigaTime, the model that my team built, is a multi-model AI model developed by Microsoft Research in collaboration with my team, Providence Health Systems, and the University of Washington. It makes standard pathology slides, the kind that's already available for every patient, and these cost just a few dollars, $5 to $10, and it generates a virtual version of that expensive test I just told you about, the multiplex immunofluorescent test. We applied GigaTime to over 14,000 cancer patients across 51 hospitals and discovered over 1,200 previously unknown connections between tumor biology and patient outcomes. This research was published in Cell, one of the most prestigious scientific journals on the planet. Let me show you a short video that brings GigaTime to life, specifically how it's being used to help improve cancer care.
Immunotherapy is really the most promising direction for taming cancer once and for all. The whole idea is using the immune system to fight cancer.
The big challenge that we have in the field right now is to understand which patients will respond.
Spatial proteomics can simultaneously measure multiple protein and create multiplex immunofluorescent images. It can tell you whether the patient might respond to immunotherapy or not. But unfortunately, to generate this kind of images takes days and costs thousands of dollars. In collaboration with Providence and University of Washington, we developed this multimodal AI called GigaTime to generate spatial proteomics at scale.
So we have trained the model using large-scale data, analyzing millions of cells. The input image has limited data. We don't know where the protein is active. GigaTime can convert this image to a colorful multiplex immunofluorescence image. The color is the protein activation. They are the key factor drives diseases, especially in cancer. This can help us to predict patient drug response.
We are now taking a first meaningful step to be able to generate this kind of data for everyone in the globe. The GigaTime model is now available to everyone through Microsoft Foundry. Our hope is to empower every secondary hospital in every tertiary city to be able to now conduct their own research.
We look forward to a future where we can actually bring this to the clinic, impact patients' lives, and bring a next generation of immunotherapies to places where this would be otherwise impossible.
Great. Now let me shift gears for a moment because I want to give you a real picture of what it's actually like to build this stuff for a living. When I started my career over 25 years ago, Being a software engineer meant sitting at a computer, writing 1,000 lines of code by hand, debugging late into the night, hoping it compiled. It was a craft you had to master almost entirely on your own. Today, software engineering has been transformed by AI. At Microsoft, my engineers use AI coding agents like GitHub Copilot, Claude Code, OpenAI Codex to help them write code, review it, test it, spot bugs, and suggest improvements automatically. A task that might have taken weeks can now take a day, sometimes even a few hours. But here's what I want you to understand. What hasn't changed is a need for a human brain that can think clearly about problems. AI is a partner, not a replacement. The engineers who thrive today are the ones who understand how software works at a deep level and ones who know how to direct the AI effectively. You can only do that if you understand what's happening under the hood. So if you love logic, problem solving, and building things that work, software engineering is one of the most exciting careers on the planet right now. Now, let me tell you about the researchers on my team because their day looks very different from an engineer's. Researchers' day starts with a question, a hard problem worth solving. They read the latest papers from universities and AI labs around the world. They ask, is there a better approach? What hasn't anyone tried yet? They form hypotheses, design experiments to test them, and then they get to work. They write code to build new AI models. They train those models on massive data sets using powerful computer clusters running in Microsoft Azure, our cloud. Then they evaluate whether it works. That can take days or weeks. And if it doesn't work, they figure out why and try something else. This takes patience, creativity, and a high tolerance for failure because most experiments don't succeed on the first try. That's the nature of research. But great AI research is also about collaboration. When my team developed GigaTime, we worked side by side with oncologists at Providence Health Systems and researchers at the University of Washington. That paper we published in Cell wasn't just a computer science achievement. It was a medical breakthrough that could change how we treat cancer. If you love science and math and the idea of discovering something that no one has done before, and you want that discovery to actually save lives, an AI researcher might be the path for you. Now, let me leave you with this. I did not grow up with someone coming to my school and saying, you can build AI that helps detect cancer. You can build a system that gives doctors their time back. You can do work that changes what's possible in medicine. But you do. You have that right now. Every model I showed you today, Dragon Copilot, MedInsights, UniRG, GigaTime, started with someone asking one simple question. What if AI could help me with this? That question is yours to ask. The tools exist, the problems are real, and in a few minutes, you're going to start building your own AI solutions in this hackathon. Take it seriously because a habit of asking hard questions and trying to solve them is exactly how careers like mine begin. Whether you end up being a software engineer, an AI researcher, a doctor, an entrepreneur, or something we haven't imagined yet, the world needs people who are curious, bold, and willing to do the work. I cannot wait to see what you build today. Thank you so much.
Yay! Thank you so much, Mr. Malik. That was so wonderful. I loved hearing about how healthcare is used with AI. And I'm sure the kids learned a lot of information. So thank you for giving your time here and talking to us. That was a
My pleasure.
wonderful speaker session. All right. You guys, my screen is still on, right? Okay. Now, as Mr. Malik said, we're going to be shifting in to you guys creating your own AI app. So briefly, we're going to tell you about the three different AI systems that we are going to teach you how to use, and then you're going to be put into a breakout room with your own designated mentor. So I know it may seem like a lot of info, but you'll have a mentor there assigned to you that will help you out in a breakout room of about 3 to 5 people.
So now let's go into how you can use AI. So let's start with the three mechanisms, the three apps or websites that you will use for this project. So we have Teachable Machine, Base44, and Lovable. So Teachable Machine is a browser-based tool that lets users create simple machine learning models like image, sound, or pose recognition without writing any code. It works by letting you train models using examples you provide, then exporting them for use in apps or websites. Its main advantage is accessibility because it's designed for beginners learning AI concepts quickly and visually. Next, we have Base44. So Base44 is an AI-powered no-code platform where you describe an app in just complete plain language and it builds the full application, as in the front end, back end, and database automatically. It stands out because it includes everything built in. So hosting, logic, authentication, so users don't need to connect external tools. Compared to others, it's extremely beginner friendly and optimized for quickly launching complete apps with minimal setup. Lastly, we have Lovable. So Lovable is an AI app builder that generates full stack web applications from natural language prompts, including code, databases, and deployment. It differs from simpler tools by producing more structured, production ready apps using modern frameworks and real backend logic. While still beginner friendly, it offers more flexibility and developer style control than Base44, especially for scaling projects. However, Lovable does have less functionality because you can't input as many prompts. So I recommend Base44. So next we will explore how to use these platforms, starting with Teachable Machine.
Okay, so let's get into Teachable Machine. Teachable Machine is basically just classifying, you can classify images, sounds, poses. So this is really helpful for like medical settings. You can identify tumors. You can use different shapes to identify certain things in the body. So the possibilities are really endless. So in this example, we're basically classifying different images into rock, paper, scissors. So as you can see, I'm providing images into the database that you can upload them from the internet as well. And you may notice that I am actually moving my hand around a lot. This is because you want to make sure that you have more diverse data, because the more different types of data that you have, even if they just vary by different pixels, then the more accurate your model will be because it's not dependent on one image. So as you can see, we're training our data. Remember, you want to have a lot of data. Like here we have like 105 image samples, 60 image samples. So you want to make sure you have a lot of data. So now the AI is learning how to recognize the different shapes. So as you can see, it's showing you like this is the amount of accuracy. Keep in mind though, if you change your image even a little bit, unless you have a lot of images, then your AI might not be accurate. So now we go into exporting the model. You can export it using a link. You can also screen record and your mentors will help you do that as well. If you're connecting to something else, which that is an option, you can also export it into code on GitHub. If that's something that you are familiar with, you can do that as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about Teachable Machine, and now we're going to go into prompt-based AI apps such as Base44 and Lovable.
Yes, and be thinking about your own projects that you could create. So Inaya explained rock, paper, scissors. If you're doing healthcare, you could maybe input images of how a brain disease looks, a skin disease, maybe like something with healthcare. You can start coming up. There's with base 44, this was just image analysis. Sorry, with Google's teachable machine, this was just image analysis. There's also pose identification. You could do like CPR poses or different like exercise poses if you want people to be fitter. There's sound classification. So if somebody's having an emergency or a heart attack, like you can even input sounds like that. So lots of options, and I want you guys to be thinking about what you'll want to do. Next up, we're going to talk about prompt engineering. So Base 44 and Lovable are both very simple prompt engineering apps. So here I'm putting in a prompt that says build an AI app that connects patients with hospitals in real time. I'm gonna include all the pages that I want. So I put GPS, wait times, hospital specialty, and then input your color scheme. So your mentors are going to guide you through how you can make your prompt as detailed as possible because with AI, you can code in under 5 minutes, but it's more your innovation and how using human intelligence, how creatively you give the artificial intelligence a response that will help you create cooler ideas. Because if you just put one sentence in, everyone's app is going to look the same and we're going to lose creativity. So as you can see, Base 44 is actioning those things, and it has created me an app almost instantly. Alrighty, now we're gonna go into just more tools that you guys can use if you have used these tools before, or a quick recap. So if you can see here, we have your beginner tools and then your advanced tools.
So if you're a very beginner, intermediate, you don't know much code, and you don't know any Python, you're very new to all of this, you can use visual no-code platforms like Teachable Machine, Lovable, or Base 44. But if you're more advanced and you know like Python or any like more advanced AI materials, you could use Google Colab with AI methods in which prompting engineering.
I are you guys able to hear me? My screen is a little.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So now let's get into how we will actually be grading you after you present your projects. So we have these 5 categories that you'll be scored on. The first one is innovation and creativity. The second is problem solving. The third is technological effort. The fourth is pitch delivery. And fifth is slides. And we will rank you from 1 to 10 in each of these categories, and that will total to a final score. And don't forget about the best part, our competition prizes. So the 3 highest rankers in this rubric will receive a prize. First place, $50 gift card. Second place, $30 gift card. And third place, $20 gift card.
All right. So now that you guys know how you can, just like a brief overview of how you can actually make your app, we're gonna go over presenting your idea because in these breakout rooms that we're gonna go in about 2 minutes, like 5 minutes, we're gonna also teach you how to create the slideshows.
Yes, so you're gonna have 2 minutes to present once you get your idea to pitch it. And so here's an idea to pitch your idea effectively. So I want you guys to focus on 4 main aspects. So first, come up with the problem that you're trying to solve. That's the main thing that your project is. So you want a specific problem, not just people need help in healthcare, but a specific problem that someone has. And then second, you want to find your solution. So what does your product solve? So what does your app specifically do? And you're going to want to pitch this concise. You don't want to go through all the complicated things, especially if you're going a more advanced way with your coding, but you want to have a concise solution and then demo your product. So we're going to get you to screen record your product or either publish it as a link and that way the visual will speak for itself because if you're just explaining it, that's not going to get your point across quite like a demo would. And then fourth, we want an impact. So this is what really makes the people care. If you tell us who this is going to help, how you can see this go further in the future, that's what really pitches your idea effectively. And next, we're going to talk about how you're going to design your slides. So designing your slides, you're gonna get 2 to 3 slides total. That's what we recommend. Um, so again, you want to focus on those 4 things, especially on your first slide, you want to maybe have your problem that you're trying to fix. On your second slide, your idea, which in that you're gonna have your solution and your demo. And then 3, you want to focus on the impact and really hone in on this so that because we're voting again on creativity and like and what you're doing. So like your impact is going to be really important. So you want to have that maybe on your third slide and just speak about that. And then we want big text with high contrast because as you can see, everyone is joining on different devices and we want it to be easy to see. If you have a yellow screen with green text, it's going to be hard to see and that immediately makes you look unprofessional and your point gets lost. So you want to make it easy to read like we have this dark blue with white. It's really easy to read. And then 3, demonstrate your project with that screen recording or the published website. And then 4, we want pictures over text. Because if you look at my example here, if you look at the first one, you have pictures, you have a timeline, it's really easy to see, and you have those visuals. Whereas the bottom slide that I have here, it's just like my brain is glazing over. I know a lot of people are glazing over that. And you lose your focus because I want you guys to remember, like going on into your future life when you're in your professional careers and stuff, you are your pitch. Like people want to hear from you. They don't want to just read your slides. It gets messy and it gets lost. So you don't want to have too much text like this. And then my last tip I'm going to leave you guys with is to practice your pitch maybe once before you do it because it's going to sound different in your head than it's going to be when you speak out loud. I don't want you guys to be surprised when you're speaking and it doesn't come out the right way. So always practice your pitch at least once. And that's all I have. And then the next slide is breakout room instructions.
All right, now since we'll be moving into our breakout rooms in a few minutes, you will see a notification pop up soon, and you want to press join when you are sent that invitation. And you also want to make sure that you leave the breakout room when your mentor asks you to. And you will be doing that by pressing the red X that says leave at the bottom right corner in your huddle room. Now, you only want to press leave breakout room, not leave meeting, because that will exit you from the full meeting, not only your room. Now, if you do accidentally leave the breakout room early, press more with the 3 vertical dots at the bottom and press breakout rooms to return back. And this is just an example of what that notification will look like.
Oh yeah, I'm doing good.
Okay, perfect. Do you have an idea in mind and have you started doing one of the apps
Yeah.
yet? Okay, great.
Mhm.
Yes, so we're just gonna try to get this all your entire app and your slideshow done by around 1 o'clock, and then we'll be heading back in our breakout rooms. So
Okay.
Neha, just make sure to add the links whenever
Yeah,
they're
I was just going to.
perfect. Yes, I hope Nishka you figure it out. I'll try to check back in a little bit. Are we good
Good.
on schedule?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try to get your apps and your slideshows done by around 1 o'clock, okay? So if you guys want to just get started on your, I know Afra must have helped you with getting your ideas, but if you guys want to get started, I would recommend that you start coding. Hi, Nishka. Try speaking now. You're gonna need to unmute.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. We can hear you now. Oh, and then
Great.
Preston
Great.
was also having, I'll put you back in the room. Hey, Preston. I believe you're muted, Preston.
I my Wi-Fi kind of went down for a second. I
Yeah,
didn't realize.
no
I was
worries.
in.
I'll add you back in your room. Nishka, you were with Neha, right?
Pretty sure.
Okay. Well, one second. I'm gonna add Nishka in real quick to Neha's room, which is room 2. Okay, you can join that now. And then Preston, do you remember the mentor you were with? You were with Nausea. I'm gonna add you to her room. So room 5. Okay, go ahead and join that.
And then the app can also like suggest like nearby medical facilities for like major injuries, and it can like also like provide some like exercises or stretches for like the affected bones or muscles.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. So when you're prompting this to Lovable or Base 44, think about how you want it to look and like again how it would be accessible. And it's like all those things you're saying, like how do you want that to be? Do you want it to be like you find the hospitals like how do you want the layout to be? Like think about those sort of things when you're prompting it. And like make sure you're really clear with your idea to the AI so it's not just like giving you something random, it's more personalized to what your vision is.
I just want to hop in real quick. Have they all shared their idea?
Yeah, they all have an idea.
Perfect. So now that you guys have your idea, I would recommend you build your app now. If you're using Base or Lovable, they can take about 2, 3 minutes to actually respond. So try to have your idea first before putting it in the text box and have that ready. Um, so we're trying to show you how a lot of times in coding you have to be fast paced. So you have about until 12:50 to finish, 12:40, so like 10 minutes to finish that prompting that you'll do, and then Naja will guide you through your slides, okay? Hi.
Wait, so Nivan has an idea and his idea is pretty good. And then I think the other two are still thinking a little bit. Wait, Nivan, do you want to share your idea to with Kashika?
Okay. So like my grandma can't hear very well. So like my app is like a microphone app that makes me it makes me sound louder.
Wait, that's really nice. I love that. Think like I like that it's a issue that's close to you. So you guys like think of some idea and then I would recommend you start doing base or teachable right about now because you'll have about we're teaching you how to do it in a fast-paced environment. So you'll have about 10 minutes to finish your app. So
Oh,
Shyla's there to help you, but I would recommend you guys get started.
all right.
And then Navya was having like kind of trouble thinking of an idea. Do you have some like thinking
Yeah.
stems for her or anything like that?
Okay, Navya, what do you, with healthcare, do you want to do something more doctoral, like a disease, or do you want to do more like, let me teach you how you can be fit or eat healthy so they can prevent those diseases?
More like doctoral.
More doctoral. Okay, do you have like a specific, what were you thinking? Like when you go to the doctor, what do you normally do?
You oh wait, when you're a you asked when you're a doctor,
When
what do you
you go to the doctor, what does the doctor
Oh,
do? Like, what do you think a doctor does?
we wait at the waiting room, then the doctor checks us and sees if we're okay, and then the doctor leaves.
Yes, wait, doctor visits are very simple like that, but a lot of times when you're doing those annual visits, an idea I could have for you is maybe you could help the waiting room. You know how like the nurse first comes to you to check your height and your weight,
Yeah.
and then the doctor comes in, so that's like a lot of time. That's or even waiting is a lot of time. So maybe you want to ask Base or Teachable to like measure people with remember how Anaya did rock, paper, scissors and she showed
Yeah.
that? An
Yeah.
idea could be you could show people of different heights and they can measure if you're small, medium, or big, like in your height.
Oh,
Another idea, if you want to do a little bit more complex, in Base 44, you could ask them, can you make an app that helps people with wait times? And you can like, what are all the questions your nurse asks you? Put it into Base and tell it to make an app.
okay. Okay. That's nice. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
And then Kashika, so this 10-minute period is just them putting the prompt into the AI, right? And then
Correct.
after that, are we gonna like reconvene or are we just gonna go into like the
No,
slide
just
making?
go into the slides. So have them
Okay.
start a slideshow and share it and put it on the doc first, the spreadsheet, because they can work on it as they're going.
Oh, cool. All right.
And then Anirudh, what about you?
I'm making like a lab result translator, which is like you can like upload an image of like your lab results and it will tell you like what you need, like iron or like zinc or like that stuff.
That
Like
is
what
so
goes in.
cool. What platform are you using?
I'm using like the emergent thing.
Okay.
Lovable.
What emerging what?
The lovable.
Okay, that's perfect. So yes, I
That's
wish you guys good luck. Try to finish your app in about 5 to 10 more minutes here, okay?
okay, so we're thinking like
Okay.
12:45.
12, well, yeah, and then 12:55 for everyone to come back with their slides.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So a lot of times, like, don't worry about making a full project. It's more about how innovative can you be in a short amount of time for the competition, okay?
I think, Alia, one thing you do want to make sure, just because we do have like a time crunch, maybe focus on like putting your big features out first. Like, you said you wanted to like put in the prescriptions, maybe like putting in prescriptions, timings, really like creating that schedule. But then if you want afterwards, sure you can like definitely like work with base 44 to kind of like prompt it to have like a picture feature where you could like take pictures of prescriptions.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because this is like a hackathon and we want to make sure that we're having like a product that actually a simple product that actually works versus like a really complicated one that doesn't work too well. You get what I'm
All
saying?
right. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Just hopping in really quick. Have they all shared their ideas?
Alia and Samvi have an idea. I'm gonna work with Amelia now to kind of figure out what she wants to do.
Perfect. Yes, let's do that.
Okay. When are we getting out of the breakout rooms again?
So you guys, if you already have your idea, I'd recommend you start building it. We're gonna do our idea building until 45, and then we'll do their slides until 55. So breakout rooms out at 55.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Amelia, what are you do you have any direction that you're thinking of? Or like tell me more about your experience when you go to the doctor or when you exercise or eat healthy.
So actually, I had an idea, a new one that maybe there could be an app that determines the severity of the situation. Because since doctor appointments are very expensive, sometimes it's not like fully necessary to go through that process. So there could be like an app that determines if the sickness is severe, especially since some people they aren't sure what to do if they do have a sickness. So it could determine what it is, some possible at-home solutions, and maybe if it's severe, they could automatically contact a local doctor.
I love that idea. So do you wanna, that's perfect. Put that prompt into base or lovable and get started.
Okay.
Yeah, reach out to Anaya if you have any more questions, and then I'm gonna go back to the main room. But yes, try to finish it in about like you're not trying to make your whole super complicated app like Anaya said. It's more how fast can you do it in a short amount of time, like you'll have to do usually in the innovation space. So try to finish it in about 5 minutes, okay, guys? I hope you're on your apps now. Let me just tell you how this is gonna work. You're gonna get 60 seconds to present, okay? So in this, you're gonna wanna do a brief overview of your project, share whatever link or screen recording you have, and we'll try to limit you to 60 seconds. So please try to stay under that. If you need to extend by like 5 seconds, like if you go a little overboard, we're not gonna dock points for that. But it's important that we stay concise because that's something that we are seeing in the pitch appeal of our rubric as well. Okay, so we're gonna wait for about 2 more minutes for these last two people to come out, but I want you guys to get ready. I will share my screen to get your slides. So who wants to go first? Okay, then I will be picking people. We're gonna quickly go over some tips on how to present whenever you are presenting and talking to people. Ensure that you're muted when other people aren't talking. And then when you do start talking, unmute so people can hear you. Make sure you have good lighting, that your video is on, because we want to see your faces as you're presenting. Because if we can't see you, then how can we look at your pitch? And then we also want you to be having good lighting and just being really energetic. So remember 60 seconds, and we're going to start off with Sanvi Vasudevan.
Okay, so this is the Allergy Alert app by Sanvi Vasudevan. So the problem is that ingredients can be hard to read and people can miss ingredients that they are allergic to. This can create lots of problems regarding users' health. Our product helps people with food allergies, parents, and teens who buy food on their own. It can also help anyone with dietary restrictions understand food labels better. They can quickly check if a food is safe and avoid harmful ingredients. Our solution.
Our product solves this problem by letting users quickly scan food labels or barcodes and instantly check for allergens based on their personal allergy profile. The AI identifies both obvious and hidden ingredient names, then give a color-coded safety alert and suggests safer alternatives, helping users avoid dangerous foods in real time.
If you want to quickly just explain to us what's happening, go ahead and do that.
Yes. So here we are inputting a screenshot of a food label, which is Doritos, and the app scans the ingredient list and the barcode and shows the ingredients shown. And then there's a history page where they could see the previously scanned items. And then there's a other profile page so you can adjust your allergens and your name and your information.
Love that. Awesome. That was really brief and concise. Is that the last slide? Great.
Yeah.
We can move on to your next person,
Yeah.
Anaya.
So, Alia, are you ready to present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And take the floor.
So mine is Cure Time AI. The cause is to many patients forget to take their medicine on time, which can lead to health problems and slower recovery. Solution: Cure Time AI can send reminders, track missed doses, and help patients stay consistent with their medicine. Also, I would like to tell you, I don't know if it's for your side too, but if you click on the demo, it takes you to another link. I can speak while I can tell, yeah. And it's a click through. I apologize if it's a bit tedious. All right. It's user-friendly and features a clean layout with large text plus simple navigation for easy use. There's medication management. The home screen displays daily medication schedules with an obvious take-in button for quick and easy logging. And it has smart reminders, which includes customizable voice reminder options and automated alerts for prescription refills. And it also has a safety feature, and it provides immediate access to emergency contacts for urgent situations. It also has wellness content, which delivers daily healthy tips to support the patient's overall well-being. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. All right, Anaya, your third person. If they're ready to go, we're good for them.
Amelia, are you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just pull up your slide. Right. The floor is yours.
So this is Health Check, which is an app for all. And next slide. So the problem that I wanted to explore was that some people aren't sure what sickness they have, or they don't know what to do with it, and they're not sure if it's necessary to spend extra money on an appointment. Now, the goal of this app was to counter that and provide an app that determines the severity of the injury or sickness and provide simple solutions, whether it's going to a doctor or giving at-home solutions. The app is built to help those who can't afford frequent doctor appointments and those who aren't sure what disease or injury they might have. So here's the home page to take an assessment. And yeah, so that's the video that's showing the process of taking the assessment. It asks how much pain you're in, what concern you have, extra details, or what exactly you're feeling. This helps the app determine if there's a solution home you can do, or if it's severe and you should definitely take a doctor appointment. So it sort of demonstrates there what the process would look like. And it also provides other assessments too. If you already know you're feeling a cold or flu, it just determines how severe it really is. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. It's so great to see all these apps. We're gonna move on to the next mentor now. Do you guys like, based off your groups, just let me know if you're ready to share your screen and if you want to present your own, like Anaya did. Maybe Afra, your people were ready?
Should be ready.
Okay. Do you want to present your screen then and just do for them?
Yeah, just give me one moment.
Yeah.
Ananya, would you like to go first?
Sure. So this is Pulse Guard. Help is always one click away. Next. Okay. So how do you know when you could be in danger? Your pulse and your heart rate can say a lot about the current status of your health. Elevated or spiking blood pressure can be results of a stroke or a possible cardiac arrest. Most people don't have a constant way to make sure their blood pressure is under control and at a safe constant. This can decrease awareness of an illness until it may be too late for help. Next slide. Okay. So the app Pulse Guard constantly checks your pulse by a watch or another wrist device like a band, and it constantly checks your pulse. Next slide. So here you can see your heart rate, which is 148, which is highly over average, and it says 34 over the baseline. And you can also see how long it's been that way.
Right.
And it sends live alerts saying it's an unhealthy heart rate spike, and there can be an anxiety pattern. It gives you a way to contact support for the possible symptoms you're showing, such as a primary caregiver or a cardiologist. So embracing AI for more secure health environments is a good way to make sure everyone has help when they need it. That's it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Wonderful. Next person.
Ruby, you will be going next. Your presentation's just loading. One moment.
Vet Scan AI by Purvi Srivastava.
Sorry, my computer's not working. Oh, sorry. There.
Pet owners struggle to detect early signs of illness as the market is crowded with generic wellness apps that don't provide real diagnostic information, and many clinics face the long wait times, which cause like operational inefficiencies. So owners miss early symptoms, and then their pets receive care for those symptoms too late. So, our app, Vet Scan AI, you can upload a picture or video of your pet and wherever you think a symptom is. The AI will analyze visible symptoms and like flag potential diseases, and then it provides clear and actionable guidance for owners. And then it also reduces clinic overload. So this is the app. If you were to you should check my pet, and then you can upload a picture of your pet here, and then after, like let's say, can I share my screen for this part?
Yeah, sure.
So this is the app, and on the homepage it provides you like how it works, and on the bottom it shows like common diseases too. So you could upload a picture of your pet here. And you can also select what type you have and write what other symptoms your pet is having. And after you analyze your picture, it shows like a possible idea of what your pet may have as an ear infection or inflammation. Yeah. This app shows early detection, which provides better outcomes and lower treatment costs, and it empowers owners to understand what they're seeing and reduce strain on veterinary clinics. This is a more efficient and accessible modern pet care ecosystem.
Awesome.
All right,
I
thank
love
you.
that.
Kritik, you'll be going next.
Hi, I'm Kritik, and I created Court Care AI. So I'm a player, and I've had times where I got hurt during a game and didn't know how serious it was, but I still kept playing, and that's the problem. A lot of athletes ignore injuries because they're unsure, and small injuries can become much worse. Next slide. So I built Court Care AI. It's an app where you can take a photo of your injury, answer a few quick questions, and instantly get a risk level, low, medium, or high, and along with that, what to do next. It's fast, simple, and made for real game situations. Next slide. So in seconds, athletes can make smarter decisions by uploading a photo of their injury, and then you just answer a few questions, like I said. And after you give the AI a brief, like detailed description of how your injury is, you can analyze the injury and it'll give you how concerning it is and steps that you should take next. So that's my thing. And I built this because I've experienced it in myself, and I know other people that go through the same problem. So Court Care AI helps athletes play smarter, not just harder. Thank you.
Justin, we will be going next.
Okay, so my side is the issue of type 2 diabetes by Justin Zhang. The problem is millions of people are at risk at type 2 diabetes but remain undiagnosed until complications or symptoms occur. Early symptoms are often mild or ignored, delaying intervention. And underserved communities can face barriers to education and care. They also lack personalized, accessible tools to track risk and prevent diseases. It matters because late diagnosis can lead to serious complications like heart disease, kidney damage, and higher healthcare costs, which are preventable with early action.
I can't see this file. Do you just want to share your screen to show this? Because
Okay.
Yeah, no worries on this part. We understand there can be issues with the file, so we'll give you a moment to get it ready.
Okay. Okay, so this apps allows me to like track glucose levels, how much exercise you're getting, what food you're eating, and how much you waste. And you can like log all of that and just type it in to record all of the things you're getting. And also, you can also tell what your mood is and other things. There's also an AI coach for the app that allows you to like for him to tell you like what you need. And there's also a community tab allowing you to talk with other people with type 2 diabetes. There's also a progress page letting you know like how much you improved and other things. So the impact I'm trying to make is to reduce long-term complications and let users take control of their health before it's too late. And I also want to improve health equality by supporting underserved communities.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So all of AFR's people are done. Great. We're going to move on to Mia and Hansita. So Arjun Sharma, if you want to go. So Mia or Hansita, whoever, if you guys want to share your screen to present their project.
Okay. Okay, oh.
Okay, Arjun's going to do it. Okay. Perfect. Yes, we can see it. If you click slideshow, it can make it big.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Great. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Hello. My app is Tide Health. Problem is that some people don't know what to do if they have cancer. Because of this, many people die to cancer. Idea. This app will be able to help those unaware of having cancer and people who don't know what to do if they have cancer and how to fix it. Impact. Because of this, many lives will be saved because now they know what to do. You can do a free screening as you see here, and you can identify risk, know if it's serious, and find the best doctor near you. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you so much. That was so amazing. I love how you picked such an important issue. Okay. Next up, we have Mihit Daswani. Mihit, are you ready?
My screen.
Okay, Mia's gonna share her screen and then just get ready to speak.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, you can make it slideshow. We're ready.
Awesome. And Mahit, just tell me when you want me to switch the slide, please.
Yeah. So my app is called Move Well. Basically, some people are unable to access easy healthcare from their house. They have to go to the doctor or something, which can cost both time, energy, and money. So I made my app so that you can get your healthcare. Yeah, can you go to the second slide? The second slide. So you can the second slide. This isn't the. Oh yeah, this is. Sorry. So you can access the app, and you can access videos and step-by-step instructions of how to do the exercises. Because my computer wasn't working the greatest, I wasn't able to put any screenshots of my thing, but it's pretty basic. There's just a home screen. You can you can search up whichever exercise, body part, or muscle you want to exercise, or you could just go browse by body area. When you scroll down, you see options like your upper body, your core, your lower body, and your full body. Each one has an amount of exercises. If we went to say the upper body, then we could see muscles over there that we could work, such as the back, the biceps, the chest, the shoulders, and the triceps. If you clicked on them, you would see a video on you would see the exercises they have. And once you click the exercises, you have videos, and then there's step by step instructions and what you need. And it also tells you how difficult it is. So can you go to the next slide? So this is the app is made for anybody who wants faster, easier, and cheaper healthcare, and then it basically teaches you how to do exercises. I'm done.
Mahit, we do have a website link. Do you want me to display that really quick?
Yeah. Or can I share the screen of the website?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here you can search up what exercise you want or what body part or muscle. So you could go like tricep, say, and then tricep. These it would have found somewhere, but this one is like triceps. These are chests. But if you go down here, you can find the upper body, core, lower body, and full body. And we will go back to the upper body. This time we do back, and then you can find, let's say if you want to do like complex, which this is advanced, a pull up, and then the video isn't working right now, but you can find the step to step, like grip the bar, pull your shoulders blades back down, and then you pull yourself up, you slowly lower yourself, and then you repeat it. Basically just tells you whatever you need to do, and yeah, just quick, easy access.
I love that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mahit. If you want to stop your screen share now. Perfect. I'm glad we could get your app to work so we can look at it. Okay, Neha, do you want to do your two people next? So Nishka and Rishabh.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is a live check by me. Okay, so many people daily pass away unnoticed due to sudden things happening in their homes when they're living alone, mostly happening to elderly people or people with illness or disabilities, and especially to people living in rural areas that can't get to contact very fast. Um, it happens and it'll take very long time for us to notice. So that's the problem I'm trying to fix. So my solution is live check. So every 2 hours, it'll ask you to it'll ask you to do a face scan, and during the while after the face scan, you can also control many other things. Like you can turn off that app for like if you just click deactivate, then let's say while you're sleeping, then you don't have to like wake up in the middle of the night to like face scan. And then it also records all of your scans with like a history. And you can configure your emergency contacts or maybe even just 911, like the police or hospitals, so that immediate help can be sent to you if anything dangerous happens. So this is the demonstration of the app. You can click scan, face scan, and then it'll capture. And then after, yeah, it verifies it. And then it resets the timer. And then this is all the scans, like the history. And then if we go up, you can deactivate it for as long as you want until you click start again. Then it'll be deactivated so you don't have to do the face scan feature. This is targeted towards elderly individuals, people with chronic illnesses and disabilities, people who live alone and just families wanting peace of mind. And one main reason I made this is because not too long ago, one of my relatives was like something happened, but we were lucky enough that there were guests at their house, so they were able to get help and get sent to the hospital. And then it made me think like, well, what if they weren't there? What if there were no guests? Then obviously we wouldn't want that to happen. So that is the main reason for my app. Thanks for listening.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rishab. That was wonderful. Yay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do our next person now, Nishka.
Okay, so my app is called Note to Self, and it's an AI-powered online journal that helps you track your mental health so that you can like start noticing trends and just like have a better mental well-being. Can you go to okay. So again, like I said, people are overwhelmed and this is throughout all age ranges. Students are overwhelmed, adults are overwhelmed, and 1 in 5 adults experiences mental health challenges every year. But they don't have a consistent way of tracking that unless like you want to pull out a journal. And a lot of times people don't want to like physically do that. And that leads to a barrier as to why they aren't consistently tracking how they're feeling every day, and that's leading to a buildup and like just kind of a decline in how they feel over the span of like months, and that just leads to like them feeling like there's no better way for them to like track their mental health and to get better. So can you go to the next slide? So for that, we made, or well, I guess I made Note to Self, and Note to Self has a mood calendar. It has like a free write note option. It has daily check-ins that are multiple choice, so they're fast, they're easy, and it kind of makes you want to do them every single day. And there's a wellness library that is obviously currently very small because I had like an hour, but in the future it would be expanded, and it kind of helps you find solutions as to how to make yourself kind of feel better. um you can you can go to the link or you can go to the next slide. There's a screen recording. So what you're going to see is that's our mood calendar. This is the daily check-in. There's your multiple choice options. And then you have a journaling option and you have a gratitude option. So you can kind of just write down your thoughts and how you feel and hit update, and it saves that in your calendar and you can go back and look at it. This is your wellness library. There's 3 different categories. You have yoga, breathing, and calming, and they just kind of help you. This is your like trends and insights. This tracks how you feel like long term, and kind of just shows you really how your like mental health has been going for a while. And if you're seeing like a constant decline, you can go ask for help, and like you kind of have physical data to prove how, like, to show you how you've been doing. um yeah, thank you. That's my app, Note to Self.
Yay. Okay, thank you so much, Nishka. That was really great. Perfect. We are now gonna move on to, all right. Shyla, is your group ready?
Yes, actually, would you guys prefer screen sharing by yourselves? Because I know there's like the link to the game and the link to like link to the app and the link to the slides. So yeah, you guys
Let's
can screen share yourselves.
let's do Nivan first. Nivan Vyas.
Okay. Let me. Uh, yeah, this is my app. Um, So why I made this app is because whenever I need to call my grandma, I always need to scream at the phone because her hearing isn't that good and hearing aids aren't helping her that much, which is why I made Cleartone, which is a microphone app that amplifies your voice so that people can hear you better. So the key features of the app is that there's like a microphone which you just click the microphone to activate, and then there's like it's like easy to use for like all types of people. And then there's a slider which allows you to adjust the volume to your preferred level, and it's compatible with common phone apps like FaceTime, WhatsApp, and the phone app. And then here's the actual app. So then like yeah, sorry. Here's the actual app. I think the preview isn't working. Wait.
Yeah, if you click on that, it should.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so here's the app. So you click on the microphone and you can drag the slider up to 300%, which can bring you up to like 3 times your volume so that you can easily talk to elderly people better. So yeah, that's my product.
I love that. Okay, this is so useful. I could definitely use it with my grandparents too.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Next, Shyla, who else is?
Next, let's do Navya Vyas.
Navya Vyas.
Yeah. Feel free to start screen sharing whenever you're ready.
Okay. Um, I'll just. No, I'll just ship. Wait, can you see?
Yeah,
Can
we
you
can see. We can see.
So, when you're like, when you're at the doctor, they're short, but the doctor like visits, like all the time, your information is like unorganized and complicated and stuff. And patients like struggle to organize their symptoms in ways that doctors can like quickly use. So my app is called the Pre-Visit Intelligence Builder. So basically it's an app where you describe what you feel, answer simple questions, then it builds a timeline of everything that you need to do for your recovering stage. So this is the app. I'll take you here. First, this would be the login page that you go to, but that would like take some time, so I'll just show you. But you start your like doctor visit and then it clicks start new visit prep and you put in all of like you put in your information and the information of your doctor because when you sign in it'll ask you for like the hospital you go to, and then if it's like a caregiver mode then you'll click the button, like you'll click it because it's like your caregiver. Yeah, and then you just like put in your information and then it shows you like a timeline of your um of like everything you need to do for recovery. And yeah.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, next we have Anirudh.
Yeah.
Do you want to share your screen?
Mhm. Um, my my app is called LabLens, and the solution is that many people still do not understand their lab reports and also their pills prescriptions. And this app makes it easier for people who don't understand their lab reports to understand their needs and requirements for themselves. And as you can see over here, this shows like the homepage of the app. And it's impactful because it helps people connect with their health and work goals. And it saves time by giving real-time insights on health problems and prevents misinterpretations and overdoses. And it also highlights your personal trends over time, leading to overall better health and easier comparisons between different time periods. And as you can see, it shows glucose and cholesterol. And for the glucose, you could choose if you're like fasting or not. And the target market for my app is it's targeted to many people, but mainly people who don't have the correct accessibility or like daily access to doctors or medical workers who could help them understand and review their prescriptions or their diseases and understand what to take and what not to take. And I created this because many people need to understand their needs and many still do not. And this app helps me and others understand their health needs and if they are healthy or not. Others may need this because they cannot access a doctor or any medical personnel to help them. LabLens also helps people understand what questions to ask to their doctors. And in this picture, it shows like questions like what the total cholesterol is and like what should I take to make my diet better and like what my vitamin D is and stuff. And that's it. And my app is right here. The app, it takes you to the homepage and you could see the blood work and like all of the stuff that you have, and at the bottom it shows like the questions that you should ask and stuff. And that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Okay, we have 3 more people left. We're going to do Najia's group. So, Najia, if you want to share your screen, we're going to have Samith present first.
Okay, Smith, do you want a screen share or do you want me to screen share for you?
Can you screen share like the presentation, then I'll screen share the website?
Yeah, I can do that. Okay.
Hold on a second. Okay. Can you click present?
Yeah. Second.
So the problem is that most people experience at least one injury while playing sports. There's like no like fast way to get some medication and like proper diagnosis. Okay, next slide. So my idea is my app helps diagnose the injury, like asking like questions and suggest first aid treatments, rehabilitation exercises, and nearby medical facilities. So the impact of my app is it helps players recover faster and easier. And like it prevents injuries from worsening over time and like you having to pay a lot of money. And then my experience of the thing is, I got this idea because today I had a soccer injury while playing the match. So there was like no fast way for me like get some like help. So yeah, and then now I'll like screen share. Okay, hold on a second. Can you guys see the app?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so if you want, you can click start diagnosis. Like it'll ask where does your body hurt? For example, I'll just click knee, for example, and then I can select my symptoms. So I'll do popping an injury and then pain behind the kneecap. And then if I click analyze symptoms, for example, it'll give um like which type of injury it is and like seek immediate care. You can do first aid guide, for example, or so let me just or you can do rehab exercises, which will say like how you can do it and like which type. So for example, if I just click ankle circles, it'll say steps and like you can repeat it, gives you all the steps. And you can also see the facilities near you. And then yeah.
Yay, wonderful. That was really amazing. I love that. Good job, Smith. Okay, let's move on to the next person, Najia. We can do Preston next.
Okay, Preston, do you want me to screen share or do you want to screen share?
I'll screen share.
Oh.
Okay.
And you guys will be most probably ending around 2:10. So just like 10 more minutes, okay?
It's not letting me screen share right now. Hold on.
If it's not letting me screen share, I can screen share.
All right, can you do it?
Yeah.
Can we start with the slides, please?
Mm-hmm. 1 second. Okay, can you guys see?
Yeah. All right. Gentle move, aiding the elderly. Next, please. The problem. In the world, the elderly struggle with staying physically fit. After the age of 30, muscle mass declines by 3 to 8% per decade. Only about 28 to 34% of adults above the age of 65 meet physical activity guidelines. Gentle Move allows older folks to undergo light exercises and provides nutritional advice, all specialized for the patient's needs, physical state, and condition. Um, Gentle Move gives everyday health activities and diet depending on the user's condition in the form of stretches, exercises, and like different activities and diets. This app is very accessible for the elderly because they might be limited in mobility or eyesight. So we have large text and wide buttons.
Um, oh,
Oh,
let me see if there's a way to bypass the login.
Or if you want to do it with a different email.
Yeah. Wait, I'll just open the link on a copy link.
oh, I think I can screen share actually.
Okay. Or,
I'll just,
oh yeah, you can just bypass my screen share.
okay. Can y'all see it?
Yeah.
Can y'all, okay. Okay. Okay, so when you get into Gentle Move, you can first choose your condition. So if you're feeling okay, it'll give you moderate exercises and you can choose your own. And exercises range from stretches to strength and even dance. When you go to your diet, um, it gives you specialized like meals depending on what you want to focus on, like your heart, bone, digestion. And for progress, elderly lack like motivation for fitness, so it gives you like a streak to maintain and an average to beat. And if you can choose how long your exercise takes, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And this is Gentle Move. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Preston. Okay, we have our last person. We're going to do Beyond the Svani, if you want to share your screen.
Can Dementia share her screen?
Najia?
Yes.
So this is Medlord, and you know when you have like an appointment or you need to take some medication, but you just keep forgetting, and you like try to remember, but you can't. And this is where this comes in. It'll remind you for any up for medications and appointments. Can you visit the website, please?
Okay. I'll do the same thing where I'll go to my personal email. 1 second.
Do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, if you want to share your screen, that's fine.
Yeah.
So whenever you get in, it'll give you this but obviously your name, but like, yeah. And then here you can see at the bottom, you can see your medications and your upcoming appointments. And these are 4 tabs that you have. Medications, you can add medications, the name, dosage, and how much. And then add medication, whatever. So you have appointments, which is kind of the same. You put in all the information. Emergency, if you have an emergency, it'll give you have some quick, easy to call, like you know the numbers. And if you want to find nearby hospitals or facilities, you can just type it, you can put your location there. And I mean, yeah, here you can see your profile. Originally when you log in, it'll ask you to fill all this information out, but like, yeah, just kind of, but since I already logged in, it's not asking me to fill it out. Yeah, that's and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. If you want to stop your screen share. Great. All right, you guys, that concludes our pitch competition part of it. Now we're gonna give out our awards, and our panelists have been filling out rubrics. So we're gonna be telling you our third, second, and first place winners. But before we do that, can we all click a group picture? So if you guys want to turn on your cameras, everyone turn them on and we'll do a group picture. All right. Yes, great. Okay. That's good. Okay, ready? Are you guys ready? Yeah, fix your hair. Okay. We're gonna get it ready, okay? 3, 2, 1. Smile. Okay, got this one. And then, see, this is the thing with our Zoom. I'm going to do one more picture with these people. Okay, one more time, guys. 3, 2, 1. Smile. Wonderful. All right, Shyla, are we ready to share the screen for the winners?
Almost. Actually, guys, feel free to take a quick water break, bathroom break, and then we'll have the awards session ready in 2 minutes, or 2 to 3 minutes.
So we'll do awards from 2:10 to 2:15. So yeah, feel free, grab some water. All right, we are back. Okay, can you guys all see my screen again? Wonderful. We're gonna do a fun process. So before she announces the awards, we're all gonna put in like a cheer and do a drum roll, okay?
All right, get ready for third place. Drum roll. You gotta unmute and do the drum roll. Everyone do it. Come on.
Oh,
Okay, third place is Preston. Preston, we thought that your project was really good, especially because you kept your target audience in mind and you specifically mentioned things like we made the buttons bigger so that old people can see it clearly, and we had like a contrast specifically for our target audience. So we applaud you on that, and we thought that was a really unique thing to do.
Thank
Great
you.
job, Preston. So you will be receiving your gift card. Okay. Oh, my bad, guys. Sorry. Next
Okay.
person.
Well,
Drum roll, please.
all right, and you guys must have seen it, but second place is Sanvi. Everyone thought your idea was like genuinely helpful in the real world, and we thought it was so unique. And I think I can use it myself because I have like a million allergies. We especially liked how you recorded your demo, like you actually uploaded the photo of the Doritos bag and you went through the whole process step by step. So great job on that. We loved your project.
Thank you.
So Sanvi, you'll be receiving your second place gift card. Okay, first place. Are we ready?
Yes. Drum roll. Okay, and Nishka. Oh my gosh, Nishka, your presentation skills are just amazing. You were confident and clear when you spoke, pretty concise with all your features, and we loved your idea. I think it was the only one that talked about mental health. So we applaud you on that, and please stick around for a few minutes after the meeting, the three winners, because we're going to do some photos and provide details on your award.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Everyone else, we will be sending out a certificate. So you all have received a certificate for participating in the AI pitch, making your own app. And all of these apps were so wonderful. Like, genuinely looking at them, it was so hard to decide on the winners. And all of our Shark Tank panelists, we had so much fun looking at them, and deciding was just very hard. So all of you, applaud yourself, show your app to your parents, show your slides to like your friends, your parents, tell them all about it because it was just so wonderful. So this concludes our workshop. Thank you guys. We will send you a follow-up email with your certificates and all of your other things. And then the third, second, and first place winners, can you please stay back?
We also have our social media on here too, so check out for any posts. We will be posting pictures from the event as well as the winners. Congratulations.
All right. So Nishka, Sandy, Preston, we're gonna reach out to your emails and then the parent email that you filled out on the form. So we'll reach out to them and then we'll tell you like your award. So first place 50, second place 30, and then third place 20. And we'll reach out to that email and then we'll give you like a Visa gift card e-link. So then it'll be sent to your parents' email, okay? And we'll reach out within the next 2 to 3 days. Okay, and then we'll also email you the certificate for participating, as well as you'll get your winner certificates as well. Okay, we can click one more picture with our winners. So smile, 3, 2, 1. Great. That is wonderful, you guys. Thank you so much. You're free to go, and we'll reach out to you. Good job.